Control initialized.
Hello there, comrades and cannon fodder. It's Dvoid here. I've got a 1v1 multiplayer game on Scorched Earth for you. I'll just get the production tab on. I'm using Russia. My opponent's using Russia as well for this one. I'll just speed up this initial phase. And I trained my engineer first. And I've sent a couple of rifles on to varying locations. Like, the first guy is moving through to see how far the enemy move forward. And he bumped straight into the enemy here, so he was thinking the same thing, but a couple of rifles caught me out. Now, this rifle's told me the enemy's got a presence there straight away. This rifle, I kind of left him there as early warning, although the enemy can sneak units around here. Look at that, we're both near each other, but we don't know it. I've sent these rifles to safely clear the way for this engineer to capture my second oil derrick. My opponent is doing the same with a rifle there for his engineer. He didn't go for the hospital yet. He's making his position more secure there. In my build order, I'll be building the war factory now, but I am still using my second early war factory build order, early second war factory. And what I've discovered, there I've caught one of his rifles. What I've discovered a couple of things about the build order. One is that you can't lose power plants early. If the enemy was to use an early Gren drop and take out one of your power plants at the right point, it really does mess up the build order, because I've got a second second war factory is drawing on the same level of power that the standard build order has. So that means there's that much less spare power, and if you do lose a power plant, it's that much more damaging. You can't sell a refinery or whatever to get your power back. It's that much of a hit. So a vulnerability is, if you lose a power plant at the wrong point early, it's devastating. That's no good. So what I decided was to add an extra power plant to the build order. So after I've built my war factory, I get my third refinery, and then I'll be building the service depot as normal. Now that's where this build order is standard up to that point. But after the service depot, I build my second war factory. And that's why it's called an early second war factory build. And it's not a second war factory build, you need a second war factory, but an early second war factory build. And what I do after that second war factory, which is the first difference to the standard build order. So you go up to the service depot as standard, and then instead of a power plant and 3 barracks, I build this war factory, a second early war factory. And then, instead of a power plant and 3 barracks straight away, I build 2 power plants and 3 barracks. But you can fit the power plant into another point in the build order. But I found it actually works for the timing, because the MCV, the second MCV for your expansion, rolls out of the war factory about exactly the same time as you finish, you place these... you've placed your service depot and all your ore trucks are built, your MCV rolls out just at the right timing. It's quite good. And then when you move it out, you can actually start placing your 3 barracks to secure your expansions. Now here I lost my APC, sadly. Now the enemy having the view range advantage from the hospital meant I had to back away. Now let's just look at the early stats. I've lost 19, my opponent's lost 16, but I didn't lose it, I just nearly lost its health, but I've repaired it, and I decided to go on a full squash. And it took out a few, not great, but, you know, he had enough rockets. Look, he's got, he's got about 5 there, 4, 5, 6. I've got far less. I build a lower ratio of rockets to start with, but, you know, it's bad. If you haven't got enough rockets, you're in a bad situation, because you can't kill enemy tanks quickly enough, while the enemy can if they've got enough, and then air units can pick off what few rocket troops I do have. You see, now I'm sending my MCVs out. Now this one's here, I can place my barracks to start securing the expansion. But if you look, I built the normal number of ore trucks and I'm still harvesting here, so I'm not late on the expansions in that sense. I'm just late placing the refineries at them, but I don't, as you can see, I don't need them yet. So I can secure these expansions, I'm fine. I'm okay for the moment, as long as the enemy don't destroy all my ore trucks. I've got 5, so the 6th ore truck will be at the 4th refinery, at the first expansion. That's the 6th ore truck, I'm assuming. Yeah, we've got 5 each, so you see it's right, it's the same. Now we'll look at combat army size. Now my opponent's got 14,000 and I've got 10. I don't know how that... What, have I lost? No, I haven't lost that much. Something's up. But I've seen, it looks like my enemy's got a decent sized force, and I haven't even set up my expansion here, so I'm abandoning that. I'm not going to fight for something that isn't as yet that important, but it does make this small patch more important. So what I did was I backed off, and my enemy had a larger army, but I've caught up. I'm at 13 to 14 now. So he laid idle here, look, I don't know why, but I was completely on the back foot. You see my army, I'm trying to make a defence here. But now I have run out of cash, so that window to expand, as with all builds, is small. You need to get your expansion done, and if it's interrupted, the eco-transfer, or you lose ore trucks at the wrong time, then you're in big trouble. It'll end your game, as with any build. My opponent's at 17, I'm just at 17. And we've destroyed a similar, he's destroyed just over 1,000 more than me in value. That's not a lot. But I've got my ore truck here, it moved away. Now my opponent's moving behind my base, and obviously this is to draw attention, a small eco raid, and it works. I'm sending this force to escort my second MCV. That's actually the home base MCV. But here we go, look, I'm getting my ore trucks out of there because I was right on the ball with that one. And I don't have to react, I can leave those units there because they're no threat with no ore trucks. Now I've moved those ore trucks here, he can hit me. Now he's got my war factory, but I've got a second. So that's the good thing. Now I need to react to this, and I thought I have to do something. I can't just send these units back, so I went on an attack here. You see, I've got rifles checking out what's going on, even though that's a rocket. But I'm hitting him here. And yeah, it was a nice one, that. A nice counter-attack, but he's cutting through my base, look, nicely. But I'll have the advantage in that engagement. It doesn't look like it, but his view range, look at that, it's not great. Whereas mine, I can see all his units. But this is in a bad way, and he's caught me with a base push and an extra attack. But I'm overrunning him here, look. Just, I've attack move through it, now I'm gonna assault move, or whatever you call it, where I destroy everything on the way back. He got his MCV out of there, but here we are, I've defeated that attack. Let's just see if he actually moved units away, hardly any. I didn't know if he'd moved the whole force back or half of it, but I'm reacting here, look, and he's got a good sized force now, so I'm in trouble. But I thought, right, send your main force on, carry on. Because I don't think he'd expect that, and I found very little here to stop me, so that force is going to smash through him. That's basically what he's done to me. So now I think, right, that's it, get these assets and that back. Any new units, start building them here, look, even though I'm going to have to say goodbye to my war factory, but just smash his base. I know I could kill the units, so I did, and then I'm just going to smash up the rest of his base. But, you know, I'm losing my vehicles, sadly. And a bit of refinery, these 2 refineries, this is a bit of ore gathering I'm going to lose. And sadly I lost my war factory, but I'm building up troops and I'm destroying his capacity. So he's in the same situation as me now, and I knew that's where he was because of his base push. I didn't know where he'd sent his other one, but I didn't know that was there. But I knew he'd built stuff here that I've got rid of. But look, I've sent all that lot packing. Destroyed it, and my engineer is going to capture that because it's a nice little capture, and he's destroying this, but it's just to buy me time. He's at 12,000 now, I'm at 13, so it's working. He's dealing with this. Look at his ore trucks, he's got no refinery to drop his ore off at. There he's just built one, so now his cash will start pouring in. But hopefully, how many, let's have a look. I've got 5 grand, he's got 2, and he's got 7 ore trucks. Now look here, his attack's coming in, but I've caught him with a small force, and this force here stopped it straight away, let him hit him from the side, and look, there's enough rockets to fry his tanks. Now I can send this force in because he's moved his tanks to screen on this side. So now this force, using that for view range and a base defence, can wipe that out now. Sandwich. I've captured this refinery, so that's taken that off him. And I've got my second construction yard here, so that means I've immediately got another expansion. Now he's just clearing this lot up. And he's making his own expansion. And I knew I'd got it in a good situation here. I just was... and there's my engineer still alive. And he's being told to move here and then reinforce my troops because I want to go on a capture. And let's just check the army size at this crucial point. My opponent's got 5,000, I've got 11. So I turned that around really nicely. And I'm capturing the hospital because it's always good to have the hospital for the view range and because I'm Soviets. Now I'm running out of tanks, but that's not that important, you know, as long as I've got a couple in place, they'll screen my infantry. I've got some veterans. And now what I make a bit of a video guide about how to make use of veterans, because I've never heard it discussed on all the uses for veterans, only that they're better in combat and stuff. Now here you go, look, I've pushed through that, seen this here, but what my mistake was... Look here, I've got my engineer on capture, and I thought I'll use these units, and I'm just basically going to, like, hold them and use them to protect my engineer. Look how close to the capture I am. That's moments away, and that would have done it for me. And now, there you go, he's got a war factory, and I was gutted at that. I typed close, and I think that was a terrible mistake. But I've still got a 5 grand army because of this lot here. And my opponent hasn't got an army really. He's got this small force. But I can't believe I did that and blew it. It was such a risk trying to go for that capture. But I thought it was a nice move. I just needed more tanks and stuff. Now I've got a war factory back up and I'm building APCs because I need some vehicles. And started to see these units and thought, well, there's got to be something here. There's a small force just to look for an ore truck, and I was expecting him to be here. And I knew he was here because of his base push, but I expected him to be here as well. I thought he'd be rapidly expanding and stuff. That's why these forces are here checking. But he's got a 5 grand army, I've got a 10 grand. And he's in the same situation building APCs. I've got no money. And I've got 11 grand army, my opponent's got 6. And he's moving out with that lot, placing base defences, and that was confused me. See, I'm killing these units. That confused me when I saw that. And you can see by my army movements, I'm in a bit of a muddle about what to do, because I was expecting an attack here. What have we got here? There's units in there. It's probably a rocket drop or something. But look, I'm sending units. I was expecting an attack, but that's what came instead. So on some level, my game sense was working. It's just I didn't listen to it properly, and I should have just sent a small group, a small force, and they should have defended that. But I wanted to expand back this way and try and catch the enemy, because I thought he knows I've attacked here and overrun him. Some players would immediately set up there again and move on quickly, so I expected there to maybe be a refinery or something. But what I think was a killer blow against me, even at this point, was that I didn't have a radar dome right now, and I would have been able to finish it at this point if I'd had a radar dome. I think that's really like one problem, because I was looking for... I saw... let's just see my viewpoint. I saw... seen structures and stuff, look. But when look there, I've got that attack. That's his rocket drop. I had a force there ready for it. But they're not being microed. But now I've defeated that lot. I'm moving that force south. Is that another? Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's another rocket drop, look. Has he got... Yeah, they're all rockets. So, yeah. But here we go, that force is moving out, and I know that the enemy were there. I could see their units, look. I knew he was here. That's why I should have one of these, should be on primary. Here we go, look. And I thought, I'm not gonna rush out and attack, I've got to stay back because I thought he's got a large mass of men. But I've destroyed that refinery. If I had a service a radar dome, I would have captured that. I mean, done the chokehold with my engineer and some thieves. But I'm sending this force this way because, look, I'm freaking out. But I am holding them in place with the amount of vehicles I've got. Flame towers are doing the work, and then these guys arrive and I see them and overrun them. These guys can deal with them. That's what I was thinking, chase them now. And then this force, I wanted to go and attack here. And he saw them because of this rifle guard. So he's got V2s in place. Right, I should have turned back there, but I just thought it'd be finished, and you know, I've left it too long. I've got a 23 grand army, he's got 13, and I'm attacking from two sides, look here. And I thought, what, I can't attack into defences at this late point in the game. He's got tech now, and I can't push into that. He can easily destroy this force, so I turned back the other way to attack what I hoped was a vulnerable expansion, and it was. And then went here. And I've caught this expansion really nicely. Look at that lovely attack on his ore trucks. This is my first patch of ore that I started with. He's feeding on it. But here we go. I've got one attack and it's driven the enemy out. There's plenty of ore trucks that are having to flee. There we go. You see, I'm not destroying them. Destroying them, but I've got this. That was too distant. I should have had an APC. But I wanted to get thieves used. There we go. Let's have a look at the enemy's power situation. No, he's okay. Let's see what happens to the service depot. Too many targets. Yeah, I got the ore trucks though. And now hit here, look, where I'm expecting ore trucks. This force, and I thought, oh, I'm fleeing, and there's ore trucks here. Let's wipe them out. And I got the power and the refinery, and then I should be getting out of there straight away. There's another power plant, and get out of there. Now this force, I've taken out some, but I thought if he pursues me, I'll make an ambush for him. Look. And I left them to see if he was following and preparing, but there was no pursuers came. So I thought, right, regroup, do something. And I moved these back in case his MCV doubled back and set up another refinery. Now, no players have been doing it as quickly as I've been looking for it. So I need to remember that I sent him by APC to capture that. What's that up there? Is it a... Oh, it's just a rifleman. See, he's got his rocket drop there still. He's probably killed an ore truck or two with that lot. But here we go. You see, I've overrun a force there. Now he's got a 22 grand army, and he's over there with it. This is not good. And I'm moving forward. He's got no money. I've got 9 grand. See, that force had to get away and move around, but they're still causing harassment. Now I thought, right, that's where his forces are, I'll attack. He's got 0 cash, I've got 10 grand. That's lovely. But I've got an 18,000 value army, he's got 22. But these guys should have moved in. Look, they're still drawing the enemy attention. But he's smart. He only used what he needed and he's protecting the rest. But I wanted rid of that for now. But his V2s are doing damage. And I saw how quickly I lost my tanks and that I was in trouble. The tank doing screening work. They're really good heavy tanks, but there was too much for him. I had too much demand on him, and I saw that I'd been defeated there. I'm at a 4 grand army all of a sudden. Now I've got my planes. I'm bringing troops here. I've just got my tech centre, so I would... let's have a look at my economy. 9 grand, and you'll see how quickly all that can run out. You can soon get through. I'm at 8 and I'm at 9 grand, but that's a nice little placement. Probably killed my ore trucks. I've got 5 left. Yeah, and I saw his army here. and I've got planes. I wanted to try and deal with these V2s because he can afford to be more passive and use the V2s. Just to snipe at my forces and that. But he's building up cash. I'm at a 12 grand army. I'm at 13. He's at 23. But with these two, that's 2 grand 700 roughly. Yeah, 2,700 just for those planes. So I'm only at about an 11 grand army against his 23 grander. So not good. But he's not being that active either. It's been a bit of a battle so far. I've got a third plane there. I took out one of his V2s, but he's shot one of my planes down. I have to send that one for repairs. But the planes are good for scouting. I just needed to keep one with my forces. I've got V2s of my own, but he's sending flat trucks out. He's using them to scout because they're quite quick. So I started using my V2s for artillery strikes on him. And is this his rocket drop? Yes, look. And he's destroyed an ore truck there, so he's picking away at my ore trucks. Here we go, we've got an enemy attack. Nice that the old flame towers are doing some nice work. And I was struggling to get my units into control groups and to keep the planes separate. I didn't want to just send them in and waste them. It was a real muddle that. And my control groups just weren't working. I was fumbling them and everything. Oh, that was a nice strafe. All those V2s taken out, and I lost one plane, but that was worth it. He's trying to call on his flak trucks, but that's no good. I'm at 19,000, he's at 20,000. Nice V2 shot. Lovely. Now my V2s are the ones doing the work. He's got one again. Now, I built an iron curtain and I placed it wrong because the enemy's got a force here and I can't stop them. I've putting myself into low power. I've got this attack on here. Yeah, they've backed off, look. And he's got me here. And I've moved into his building for the view range so he can see me. That was a big mistake, so I knew I had to back off straight away. I've got enough forces here, so he's destroyed my ore trucks, but he's obviously going round to attack the next bunch. And he destroyed an oil derrick with one rifleman, because the forces I sent a few riflemen after him. There's losing planes, look. I sent a few riflemen after him, but I think I must have ordered them away before they reached him. Yeah, look, he's got that. He's hoping to catch them on the way to reload, I'm assuming. But my airfield's there. He should know that. Trying to take out barracks and stuff. Nice. There's my engineer. I was trying to catch something like that. I was struggling. There, this force has moved there. This patch has regrown nicely. I've got these guys are on the wrong side, but they're guarding the iron curtain. I'm at 17,000, he's at 18,000. He's attacking that oil derrick with a rifleman. I thought I need to make a few decisions, do something. There's a tank moving round. He's joining this force on an eco raid. Yeah, he's taking out my ore trucks really effectively, and I'm not really noticing or responding properly. I did gather a force here to clear this lot up because I saw base defences and thought, well, I can't leave him with like a base next to mine. And then I saw this small group of units, gathered my force to attack, and then he reacted immediately. But he's got hardly any tanks with his frontline force there. That's his vulnerability at this point. My plane can see his force there. There we go, look, he's sniping my base defences, very nice. And I'm building up forces here, look, so I'm aware of what's going on, but I'm not turning back. He's sending this, he's attacking my plane. He shot it down, but the plane kamikazed onto him. And now I'm going for this expansion again that I'm assuming is there. I used a spy plane and saw it. There we go, my spy plane. He's got his MCV out of there. But I sent some and sent some back, because I knew this force was here and attacking. You know, he's got a couple of tanks and a V2 in there, so it's effective. But I'm also attacking his airfield and his power plant, look. But no, I shouldn't be ordering all my forces in like that. That's a mistake. These guys are moving back. Yeah, he's preparing a defense the same as me. $21,000 value army to me, 25 to my opponent. And I went for the construction yard, I think. Yeah, here we go, look, that was an important target to me, and I thought, right, do that and back out, because he's been attacking targets and backing out, but I thought I'd check out what was going on. My first instinct was correct. I should have escaped. Look, his plane's moving round. Now, the thing about Yaks, they can't destroy a V2 in one pass, so any force with effective anti-aircraft defences, V2s, Yaks are very ineffective against V2s, because it takes more than one pass for one, so you need to send them in groups to knock out V2s. Not being able to kill them in a single pass makes a lot of difference, because an artillery piece, a Yak can take out 1, 2, 3 easily in one pass, but V2, nah, they make a shot and miss, and then it leaves it with a chunk of health. So they have to circle around, or you have to use more than one. Well, you get a group of them, you'd be alright. You could just target each V2 with a shift command, and a group of 4 or 5 Yaks and mow through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 quite easily. But yeah, he's attacking here. Look, that's perfect for destroying all trucks. He's got a group of rocket soldiers and a tank. Now he's attacking here. He knows I've got an Iron Curtain. I'm at a 12,000 value army somehow. All of a sudden I've lost, I did lose. Yeah, I'm selling up there. My aircraft are gone. I've lost this part of my base and he's attacking. There you go. I did use the Iron Curtain, I obviously missed it. If you saw it on screen, it's hard to spot the tanks. But I did use it. I think, oh yeah, it was in that attack there. I did use the Iron Curtain. When I said I should have turned back, and I didn't, I did, because I sent a tank and it went up and down like that with the Iron Curtain through the enemy. I just didn't have enough to win the fight. But I was going for these ore trucks. I've got my V2 with me. And he's clearing up my base on this side, so I'm preparing a defence as best as I can, but my money situation was never right after his attacks on my ore trucks. Those little rocket drops and that, and a couple of tanks with them, are just, they basically turned it around when needed for him. And my counter-attack early on, that turned it around for me, but, you know, I haven't been able to finish him so far, as you can tell. Look, I'm in trouble, and this force here has completely cut this lot down. They were gone, you know, they weren't on screen. I didn't even see that happen. They were caught out really nicely by my opponent's choice of orders. I've taken out some targets there with the V2. There you go, look. Overrun there. There's my V2's been found. She's firing at stuff that it's still, you see, that's why it'll still fire at it until I tell it not to, because the computer has been ordered to shoot at that. And it's still there. Obviously when you reveal it, it's not there when you move the shroud back. There's my tech centre, never made use of apart from the Iron Curtain, only got one use out of it. And I thought, right, he's moving out of the way, I'll train some engineers and thieves, make a last stand. Yeah, I'm out of money anyway. Couple of ore trucks left, yeah. And it's finally turned, and this time it ain't turning back. So there you go, there's my thief trying to make his way out of there. I decide to leg it back this way instead. There you go, look. And I've got an engineer, 2 engineers and a thief making their way to try and capture something. Then there's nothing up here, look. Nothing to capture. I've set that up there, but yeah, what can I do? The enemy structures are soon going to see it. There's my thief, he's been caught. So there you go, there's the stage where I'm overrun. After some ups and downs, that's how it's ended up. And I'm still building and still fighting, but it's over, I'm afraid, fans. I'm sorry to say, this is it. And obviously at the point where my Iron Curtain was being overrun and stuff, and that engagement that I lost down here, that's the sort of point that my heart sank, and I thought, oh, you've blown it. You had your chance. But to be fair, I don't mind, because it was a real good game. And my opponent, he saw right at the start, I was quite defensive and quite timid, really. I haven't been playing a lot, so I was very defensive and I didn't expand aggressively. And he did overrun my base. It was just I had a nice counter-attack that hit him here and then actually wiped his base out. That was, that's the automatic counter-attack for you. That's what it's for. That's and you saw it worked. It kept me in the game. But I've called it there GG, because there's no point fighting on. I can't win that. And that was a great game. I really enjoyed it. So well played to my opponent, and I hope people enjoyed the battle. I hope people enjoyed watching it, because I really enjoyed playing it. There's the army graph, look, and we can only see it from 12.5 minutes, but yeah, there's some look at that drop, and then I still stayed in it. Yeah, hell of a fight. Really good battle. Well played to my opponent. And there's the earnings, up and down for my opponent. But he had to fight, and he stayed in it well, look, kept in it. Well done to him, like I say, he deserves some praise, because, it wasn't an easy game. There's his finishing army, he built up a good army in the end. But here's the combat tab. I've killed 511 units, he's killed 641. Now, that's a big battle. I've lost 56 buildings, he lost 46. So that's great, a great battle. He's got his support powers working, standard ones from the airfield, so he's got some paratroopers and spy planes ticking down. His production's still going. He's building his own Iron Curtain. Don't blame him, get it finished. And here's the income tab. We both earned 202,000, he earned 209,000. So that was cool. Very nice amount of cash we both earned there. Went round the map a few times, you could say. But I was at 31.1 actions per minute. My opponent was at 35. And there's your finishing cash and all that. So there's your stats and graphs. I'll post this one on its own, because it's over half an hour game. So there you go. Like I say, I hope everyone enjoyed it. I sure did. It was some good practice. And at that point where I was having attacking here, and I had 3 planes and my V2s, and he was attacking up this way, and I said I was fumbling with my control groups. It was a real mess. I was really struggling. I was making control groups, making another, and cancelling the previous ones by selecting the same number, and it would be wrong, and oh, it was a nightmare. I was struggling at some point, so I need... that's what you get out of practice with, is the control and the, how you're used to doing things and quickly, efficiently doing things. That's what you lose your touch with. You can remember tactics and stuff, and the automatic counter-attack and this and that. You can remember all that. So after a bit, you remember it all, but it's getting that efficient orders flowing in the correct order, not forgetting things, doing it easily and smoothly. That's what comes with the experience. And when you're really good and you can do it quickly and you're not wasting all your time. At one point I think I stopped building tanks. It's like, what are you doing? So so there you go, things like that happen. But I'll leave that one here. And like I say, that they'll. It was a very entertaining game for me, so I'm sure some of my viewers will enjoy this one. But I hope you all do. And for now, thank you very much for watching. And if you liked what you saw with this game, give us a sub and a like. And until next time, viewers, thank you very much for watching. Take good care of yourselves. And for now, goodbye.
Battle control terminated.